What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sequence. I'm your host, Trevor Plouffe, and today we have another special guest on, the pride of Oak Mountain High School in Alabama, a 2012 first-round pick, a 2019 MLB All-Star, a self-proclaimed hitting rat. My guy, David Dahl. What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good, man. You know, we had you on the pod, and we started talking hitting, and immediately I knew that you were a guy that just loved to talk hitting. You love to hit. And when we mentioned Sequence, you said you'd love to come on. So here you are. And we have not one, not two, but three at-bats that we wanted to go over. And I love that. So why these three at-bats?
Yeah, I think so. The first one is in 2016 when I first came up, and the first one was off Kenley Jansen, and you know, he's a dude. He's so hard to hit, and it was in LA. It was Vin Scully's last time calling a game, and was able to hit a really tough pitch out, and just love the at bat. Got some advice from Charlie Blackman right before my at bat because I faced Kenley once or twice before, and I don't even think I fouled a ball off against him. So his advice really helped, and I was just really fired up, and it was a very cool moment, and it was something that I always remember.
When you have trouble against a guy, how often are you seeking out others' advice? Do you like to go to someone who's had success against him, or just a guy that in general is a good hitter?
I go to a lot of guys. I try, especially with our team. We have so many good hitters. We've got, Nolan, Trevor, Charlie, Murphy, Desmond. We've got guys that are really good. That's done it for a long time too. So I try to pick all their brains, especially I talk to Charlie a lot about what he sees, because I feel like, we're both lefties. We have some similarities here and there, and I really value his opinion and what he sees and what he says, because he's had a lot of success.
Is he kind of like your hitting mentor guy? Did you learn your approach? Who did you learn your approach from? Number one, and two, besides Charlie, is there someone else that you kind of go to on the team?
Yeah. Approach wise, I've kind of had the same approach coming up, and I adjust it based on who's throwing, what kind of fastball the guy has and stuff. And I know Charlie does that too. He changes where he wants to hit the ball based on who's throwing. I talk to Nolan a lot about the approach and what he sees, but he's right-handed, so we see a little bit of different sequences and stuff. But he's still a great hitter, so picking his brain. But typically my approach against a normal guy would be, I'm thinking left center gap, drive something oppo, and then, react inside. I'm not great at looking in, because if I look in, sometimes I get a little, I start being a little tense. So I really try to push them out, go the other way. If a guy's throwing, harder, like you see a lot more nowadays, throwing 100, top of the zone, spin rate, all that kind of stuff, then I adjust and think more center field, driving something to center field. Okay. And then a select few will, I think, more right center gap. Guys like Walker Buehler, I might think that, guys that are just filthy, they're throwing 100, their spin rate is, top in the league. So yeah, I kind of change it. If I'm facing a sinker baller, I have different thoughts than when I'm facing a guy throwing top of the zone, just little things like that.
I love that. And I love that Charlie and you're saying you kind of have a similar approach, and you're able to make adjustments based on the pitcher. Mm-hmm. And to have that guy in your lineup, especially someone has as many accolades as Charlie and as good a hitter as he is, I think that's obviously something that you're looking to take advantage of, and everybody needs someone like that.
Yeah, for sure. Charlie has helped me so much since I came up to the big leagues. Just kind of not even hitting. I mean, hitting, yeah, but just the overall approach to the game. We got so many good players like Nolan, Charlie, Trevor, just their intent behind everything they do, their routine before games, how they get ready. It's definitely stuff you can pick up on and learn a lot from. So I really have.
Yeah, you turned yourself into an all-star.
Yeah.
2019 All-Star. And again, I think we talked about that a little bit on the pod, but you're in there with I think I asked you on the pod. I said, who was the guy that you saw in there? You're like, holy crap. Do you want to share that here?
Yeah, I mean, really, it was, obviously playing, Mike Trout was on the other side. You got Christian Yelich on our team, Bellinger, all these guys that are just at the top of the game, and it was pretty surreal. It was like, wow, I'm in this room with these guys. This is definitely special. So it was something when you're in there and you kind of get to be a part of that, you want to keep going every year, and that's one thing Nolan told me. He's like, hey man, this is sick, huh? It makes you want to come back every year. Like, yeah, dude, like this is where it's at. But just I try to talk to everybody there, pick up on anything that I can.
Awesome. That's awesome. So let's get into this one. This is a special at bat, like you mentioned before. This is against Kenley Jansen. It's in 2016. So this is a young David Dahl. And you mentioned that you had some troubles against Kenley prior to this at bat. Do you know what your numbers were? How many times you had faced him?
I think I've only had faced him like either once or twice, but if it was one of those where it was just like he dominated me. I don't even know if I fouled a pitch off. It was like swing and miss, swing and miss, swing and miss, go sit down kind of thing, or a take, something like that. So I really had struggled with him, for those at bats, which small sample, but still. And I remember talking to Charlie. It was either before the game or kind of right before when Kenley was about to come in the game. I asked him, I was like, what do you try to do off him? Because, typically I'm a guy that tries to go the other way or center field. I'm not a guy that tries to pull the ball or thinks about pulling the ball. But Charlie goes, I feel like to have success off Kenley, especially right now, you need to try to swing above the ball and try to yank this in the first base dugout. And I was like, I was like, I don't know, but I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. I'll see what happens. And I got to 2 strikes, and I was just like, all right, get the head out. I know he's going to try to throw the cutter up. Let's try to yank this thing. And I ended up swinging, closing my eyes, over the fence. So it was cool. I was fired up. I sprinted the bases. I was.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. Yeah, no, I've also faced Kenley, and I think I've had 2 or 3 at bats against him. And when I faced him, obviously he throws the cutter, and I think a lot of guys, as a right-hander, they think about driving that ball out to center, maybe to right center. But with him, it's like he throws the cutter, but it also has like a little bit of upshoot on it. Mm-hmm. So, I just felt like if I was trying to do that I was hitting under the ball, and I was like kind of like slicing it almost. So I was going to get those like pop-ups to right or to second base. And a bat that I had success against him, I said, you know what? I'm just going to like try to get on top of this and pull it. Just kind of like exactly what you're saying. And it's interesting. It works from both sides. And that's kind of, I think I hit a double off him. I pulled that double off him. But he's an unusual pitcher. Like he's one of those guys that's not a common at bat. And you do have to make these kind of like funky adjustments with him. And like when you hear that walkout song when he's coming in, it's tough. Like it's going to be tough. So you got the adrenaline going, and it was a fun at bat though. It was I still remember it to this day. I love it, man. All right, let's get into it. So here we got Nolan. I think Nolan just struck out. I'm sorry, Nolan.
It's very rare. Nolan rarely strikes out. So
yeah, he doesn't need any more love. And that's the pitch.
There's the pitch. It's his go-to.
That's his go-to. I mean, really, it's what percentage-wise, 90%?
Oh yeah, I would
higher?
Say. Yeah, probably back then too. I think he threw that was probably 95, maybe more, because I think now he's mixing it up a little more.
Yeah.
But he was like 97, 98, throwing gas.
All right. Well, we got first pitch here. He's setting up again.
We're getting in the box, trying to stay calm. I took that pitch, which is rare. I don't take much, so I was like, okay, I saw that one pretty good.
Now he missed arm side there. He was trying to kind of go middle up.
Yeah.
Maybe thinking you're a young guy, you want to see one.
Mm-hmm.
But now 1-0. I mean, that's a good count to be in.
Yeah.
Love that.
So I'm thinking like, all right, Charlie told me to pull it. Let's try to. But I think he blows this by me, or I foul it off. Yep, there it is. That's the pitch. Like up shoot. I was trying, but still, it's a hard pitch to get to. So, all right, try to step out, relax. Like, okay, let's regroup here. Let's learn from what just happened and move on.
So when you kind of get beat like that, now is it more for you? Are you thinking, do I need to get started a little earlier? Do I need to have my?
Like, okay, I felt like I was on time there, but obviously I was probably a little late. So I'm going to try to feel early, like a little earlier, and get there, get to the spot a little sooner. So I think this next pitch he throws, I take it. I thought it was a ball called strike. So I was a little upset. I think I went away, walked around.
It happens a lot, man. And now we're looking, if you see the video here, we got these shadows in play. That's never fun. All right, we had a little bit of connection issues, but we're back. And we are now at 1-1. We got the shadows creeping in, which is never fun. And this is a huge count. We talk about it all the time on this show. The difference between 1-2 and 2-1 is drastic.
Big difference.
So this is really a prime pitch here, and you really got to lock it in on that 1-1 count. And again, you kind of know what he's going to come with here. He's setting up the same thing.
Setter up's coming. Felt like that ball's away, so you see me turn. I'm upset about it, but I had to forget about that real quick. Obviously, one guy like me, first year in the league's not going to get a call, so I knew that. So I had to step out. Now you got the crowd on their feet; they're going crazy, you know. So right here, I'm like, all right, I got to get ready to hit early. I have to feel early, and I'm going to try to get the head out right here and see what happens. Try to hit this in our dugout.
You're really going to try to hit it in the dugout. I love that.
That's what I'll do, yeah.
All right. And there's Kenley looking mean. He said, 1-2, I'm about to strike this young guy out.
I'm about to throw a 97-mile-an-hour cutter up at his throat. Oh, foul ball right here. Okay. Forgot about the foul ball.
That's a tough pitch right there, because that is –
Spoiled it. So I actually forgot about that foul ball, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, he's been kind of coming up. Up inner third, so now you're kind of geared towards that pitch. All of a sudden, he's got 97 down.
And I knew, like, I had to pretty much swing at anything close because I felt like it was going to get called. So right there, I was just hopefully just spoil that pitch, which thankfully I did.
You put a good swing on it, but because maybe it wasn't in the zone that you were looking, we're calling it spoiling it.
Yeah, spoil. We'll call it.
And now here we are, 1-2. Normally, you'd be like, okay, he can throw anything here. But with a guy like Kenley, you know he's still got his pitch that he's going to come with here. So has anything changed now after that pitch?
Still trying to get ready early. Like I wanted to feel early. And really, I just had a feeling he was throwing that, the throat cutter again, just up in the zone, that rise ball cutter. So same approach, same thought process right here.
All right. Charlie's in your head. You're like, come on, Charlie. Have your advice be right for me.
Yeah. Trying to make Charlie happy.
All right. I love the VIN on the back of the mound there.
The crowd was on their feet, going, getting pretty hype. So I'm just like, all right, I got this. There it is.
Oh, man. That was a good pitch.
Puig was going to jump up and rob this thing.
Well, let's go back to that before we get into your home run trot here.
Okay.
He's set up again. We've seen this now almost every single pitch. That's where they're going.
Yeah.
And that's typical for him.
And that's what he does, but he's also the at-bats before. That's what he would do to me too. And like I said, I never really even put a ball in play. So I don't know how I got to it. I kind of just top of the ball, tried to swing a ball above it, hit the ball in our dugout, and I really was like, I got to get ready early. I wanted to get my foot down early, actually. I go back and forth sometimes about getting up early or just getting it down early. So it kind of depends what my swing's doing, where my body's at. Kind of a lot like sometimes if I think get it down early, it works. And then there's times where if I think get it down early, I end up kind of going forward. So I go back and forth with different thoughts with the getting foot up versus foot down. But right here, I was thinking I'm just going to try to get it down early and get to like my launch spot.
That's what I see the difference in this pitch from the previous pitches is instead of kind of coming going forward a little bit, I feel like you kept your posture and really stayed back.
Yeah,
and that allowed you to kind of get on that path and get on top of it.
Off him too, you really like if you have like a crunch or a tilt, you're gonna get beat. So I was really trying to like stay upright, stay tall, because I had, I knew I had a great feeling what was coming, the high heater right here.
And you whacked it. So. Yeah, then you never know with Puig.
Yeah, I thought Puig was going to climb the wall and catch it, or maybe he was just deking me and the ball wasn't going out. I don't know. Who knows? But look at me. I was sprinting the bases, though.
That's a young man who's like, I need to get around these bases. I'm happy.
My thumb guard went flying. I didn't know where it was, so I was so fired up. And then I take a little slow walk to the dugout there.
As you should, man. I want to show here it is. The posture right there. Great angle here. You're not moving at all right there. Your head's pretty still.
Staying back.
And because you're not getting crunched like you were saying, I think it allowed your eyes to stay on that ball and for you to, basically get your hands to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Did you think it was gone?
I wasn't sure. I thought I got it pretty well, but I was 22. I wasn't as strong. I wasn't very strong, so I wasn't good.
Well, I love it, man. That's an at bat where it's unique. Like I said, when you face a guy like Kenley, where you know what's coming, you still have to make these adjustments. So you took advice from Charlie. You made an in at bat, pitch by pitch adjustment there, and then you ended up taking him deep in Dodger Stadium, shut the crowd up. Can't think of a better feeling than that.
I remember we ended up, I think Corey Seager the next inning hit a homer to tie it, and then Charlie Culberson walked it off in extras. So I remember being in the outfield, though, thinking like, oh, man, I was like Vin Scully's last home run call. Like, this is sick. I can't wait. Like, I was thinking about the interviews I'm about to do after the game, like all this stuff. And then we unfortunately, we lost. But still it was a big moment in my career.
No, that was a great at bat, and I appreciate you letting us get into your head there a little bit. So that's it for at bat number 1. Stay tuned. We got a couple more coming up. Dave, you're a stud, and I hope anybody watching this understands that there's a process to this.
Yeah.
You didn't just happen to become an all-star, like you work for it. So
definitely a lot of adjustments out there. Always trying to get better. Always trying to improve because. You guys you had Christian Yelich on the other day, and I listened to the whole thing and was trying to learn from that. But just hearing, he was an all-star. He had made the all-star team, comes back from the all-star break and wanted to make an adjustment or kind of like a small change to be better. And I noticed all the great players always are looking to get better. So my dog right here wants to get.
He wants in on this. All right, that's it for at bat number 1, and we'll see you guys back for at bat number 2.